Dude, what the heck? 228 people fly from all over the world. They pay $5,000 to $10,000 each. And you drop $1 million cash at this event.
That was the most I've ever spent on an event. I don't think it's the quantity of followers as much as the quality of followers. Someone could have 1 million followers and they're all like Gen Z kids playing Fortnite who have no money. And someone could have 1 follower and it's a billionaire. Which one would you rather have? You saw my room, right? It's 220 people. And the average person in that room was making $500,000 a month.
You're on your path now to becoming a 9-figure entrepreneur. How do you go from 6 to 7 and then 7 to 8 figures? I had no idea you were such a top G in marketing. I'm like, wow. So I come to your event. Just before that, obviously, the past 2 years, we've been talking about.
You went to my Vegas event, right?
No events, dude. Okay. No events. You have to understand.
Oh, this is like your first.
Dude, 5 years ago, I met you. You had a partner at the time at Anik Singh's WebinarCon. And then I don't think you were even making $100,000 a month.
5 years ago?
Yeah.
My first WebinarCon, where was it? I was definitely making $100,000 a month.
Washington?
I made $100,000 a month in early 2021.
So yeah, basically this was before COVID. 1 week before COVID.
No way. After COVID.
No. After COVID, there was no traveling. Just 1 week. Like we went to that event. 1 week later, COVID happened.
No way.
Yeah, 1 week later, COVID happened.
Oh yeah, I was not making $100,000 a month.
Yeah, so imagine.
I was making like $30,000, $40,000.
Yes, dude, I remember and you looked like you were mad stressed, and I was thinking to myself, whoa. And you had an agency, so I've always done mainly info. That's where I made most of my money. Anyway, so imagine from there, then I see you online. In the last 2 years, I'm talking about Palestine and.
We connected a lot in the last 2 years, digitally at least.
Like on that, no.
Yeah.
I had no, and then I had like, no offense, bro. I saw you post this event, and I'm like, how on earth is he gonna get 200 people to buy this ticket? Like straight.
Yeah.
And then I see you post $10,000 sales. The VIP is sold out, and I'm like, wow, what is this? So I go to check it, and I'm like, okay, agency. I'm not into this. This is not my gig. I'm not gonna come in. And then, I don't know, for some reason, I thought, man, I should come to this event. If nothing, just to see you. And then, dude, what the heck? 228 people fly from all over the world. They pay $5,000 to $10,000 each, right? And you're the main speaker. You're the main host. And you drop $1 million cash at this event.
I did, yeah. That was the most I've ever spent on an event.
Bro, so imagine I'm texting my friends. I'm like, guys, you know Eddie Maalouf? He's like a top G in market. Anyway, so, dude, this event was so amazing for me, like on a personal level, because it forced me to think bigger. And I was thinking to myself, wow, like I heard you and Iman speak, and I was thinking, the amount of money I've lost paying full price. And we're going to get to that because, man, this is like, I saw Alex Hormozi last year obviously do the $100 million in a few days. And I was like, I have to get back into info, basically selling stuff online.
Yeah.
Because I
remember you were texting me. You're like, "Do you see that? I'm still watching."
Yeah,
bro, fuck it, I'm going all in.
Yeah,
I'm going all in.
I'm like, dude, like, because I was into crypto for the last 5 years, and I did well with that. I didn't need to do this, but then I was like, these guys are making 9 figures in a day or 9 figures. I'm like, I need to get back in, and that was like my first entry back in. And then I saw you and I watched a few of your interviews, and I was like, whoa, this part of, so let's start with like your agency is doing multiple 8 figures now per year.
Yeah, less than 20, more than 15. And
you're running on a high profit margin.
Not really. I mean, the agency model is a very hard one to run on a high profit margin. Now with AI, Clawbot, all these things, I think we'll probably add 10 to 15 points.
Okay, 10 to 15.
But right now we operate anywhere between 18 and 32.
Dude, that's pretty high for an agency.
Is it?
Yeah, because I spoke to other people and they're running on like 10, 15. Some people were running on like 25% plus. Okay.
So for me, when you're an agency doing less than 250K, you're usually running at a 50 to 70% margin.
Yeah.
250 to 500K, you're probably running at like a, depending on how fast you scale, somewhere between 25 and 35%. And then above that, you probably fluctuate somewhere between 20 and 30. That's like usually what I see. Like good ones. So obviously some might be at 10, but they're over leveraged on staff.
Okay, so basically I have a couple of things to talk about. Personal brand, these equity deals that you're doing, how you transition from just like an agency owner to then like investor, equity owner, and like this huge personal brand now. But the crazy thing is you don't have millions of followers. but you're on your path now to becoming a 9-figure entrepreneur. Like,
Yeah,
how does that work?
Look, I don't think it's the quantity of followers as much as the quality of followers. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Someone could have 1 million followers and they're all like Gen Z kids playing Fortnite who have no money. And someone could have 1 follower and it's a billionaire. Which one would you rather have?
Yeah, the one
financially speaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's what's important. So like I have right now on Instagram 115,000, YouTube like 21K. Twitter, I don't know. I don't even track Twitter and LinkedIn, but they do really well. But it's not about that. You saw my room, right? It's 220 people. And the average person in that room was making $500,000 a month.
Yeah.
Some less, some more. Average person, $480 a month, at least from the questions we asked. So like that to me is more valuable than quantity of people because I don't need to be the most famous person in the world.
Yeah.
I actually don't want to be. I see my friends that are famous.
Well, your brother is famous. And this is also crazy because I follow your brother. I'm sure my whole family follows your brother. And then you're in my crypto group and I'm like, bro, are you serious? Arab is your brother. So he has millions of followers.
Yeah.
But he doesn't make anywhere near the money that you make.
He does well.
He does well?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely different. He doesn't have like corporate infrastructure and all these things, right? It's a different lifestyle, different choice. But yeah, I mean, he gets like 300 to 500 million views a month. So like everywhere we go, I always see like if we go to a random city, we work out in a gym. I see kids like, is that him? It's so funny. I always point out, I'm like, hey, 2 Asian kids behind you, they really want to take a picture. Maybe like turn towards them and give them the chance to like approach you. You know what I mean? Like we always give the people the chance to do so. But my brother's so out of pocket. It's so funny that we were here in Dubai. We're at an event. And we did a meetup. We posted on our story, hey, if you're in the online world, whatever, come meet us here. So we had like a few hundred people come up at random times. And this kid comes up to him and he's like, hey man, can I take a picture? He's like, sure. So he like gives someone the camera to take a picture with my brother. And my brother goes, are you gonna ask me anything or are you just gonna take a picture of me like I'm a zoo animal? And I was like, bro, this kid's like 18, like give him a chance. But the kid froze, he didn't even know what to say. But the point I'm making is like, having a lot of fame is actually a curse. It's not a blessing. Because everywhere you go, people know who you are. And eventually you realize the most sacred thing in this world is your privacy.
Yeah.
And when everyone knows who you are, it's like always having cameras on you. You know what I mean? Even with your family, with your wife. I travel with my family. I'm in a random airport. Someone comes up, hey man, hey Eddie, hey. The other day, we were out, and my wife got lost. Someone found her. He brought her back to me. It seemed like an innocent situation. I was like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you finding my wife. Bring her back to me. Here's my Instagram. Love to connect. Then the next day I did some research and I realized this guy actually follows Bad Marketing Agency founder. He follows he knew who my wife was and was like, this is my chance to bring her to Eddie so that I can connect with Eddie. Not that it was a bad intent, but it's like, he took an opportunity and he knew what he was doing and he didn't bring it up. He didn't be like, oh, I know who you are. He kept it to himself. You know what I mean? So like you start realizing like the bigger you get, the less you want people to be known. I hate going somewhere and like everyone knows who I am. If it's not my event, you know what I mean? If I go to a movie theater with my wife, I want to go with them. I want to just go us two. And then I go and it's like, oh, hey Eddie, you know what I mean? It's like, so I can't imagine like an actual celebrity. So at some point you realize, look, I'd rather just have wealth and privacy than be famous. So my point is personal brand, it's more valuable to be famous in your category and your business niche than it is to be famous, period. I would rather just be famous with 300,000-400,000
And I think you
people.
have that now. You have that. Because, you go on stage, then you did your talk, you came down and you said to me, how's that side of me? And I was like, bro, I had no idea. And I had all these notes. And I was like, actually, even before I came to the event, just having that private dinner with you in the Address Hotel. And then I was taking notes on my notepad.
Not notepad. Come on, not even notepad. This guy is such a student of the game. This guy has been in it longer. He knows more than I know. He sat next to my CFO, and I've never seen someone do this. He asked him for a piece of paper. The only piece of paper they had was like the little receipt paper that they just scribble like your order on before they put it in a computer. He ripped like 2 of those, like a white one and a pink one behind it. Put it on the table on the water. I just started writing, and Shaq had like pages of little receipt notes,
Yeah.
and you took pictures because the water was getting to them. You started taking pictures to save them. Very, very impressive, man.
No, you have to be a student, dude. Like I remember like coming after that, and I thought, wow, last year all the partnerships that didn't go well. So I saw that Alex Hormozi thing, and then I immediately said to Dan, obviously Dan Henry, mutual friend, I was like, Dan, we should do this. He's like, yeah, let's do this. You know, so just partner up with all of our newbie students, and we're gonna scale them to the moon, and then take like 50% of the business. Out of 7 of them, 6 of them failed.
Yeah, of course.
And then I spoke to Ryan Dice, and then I spoke to you, and I was like, okay, I've basically made every single mistake in the book.
Yeah.
And so,
and bro, someone has to make those mistakes.
Yeah.
If it's not you, it's someone else who told you what the mistakes were.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize, because look, I think one of the biggest problems in success in general is people don't do because they're afraid of the consequence of failure or whatever that looks like, right? Yeah. But someone always has to be the first. So like Ryan had failed partnerships. That's why Ryan can give you that advice. I had failed partnerships, successful partnerships. That's why I can give that advice.
And even the way you told me about like just one of the ex-business partners, how you bought them out, I was like, whoa, like if I knew that, I would have saved like 400, 500 grand cash. Like
from like one
just from one thing.
Thought. It's not even like a tactic. It's a thought. It's like opening your mind.
I saw one of my friends who had built this 9-figure info business. He didn't understand what you did with like buying out and then like monthly and then at the end having this clause and not being able to like, you can exit and all of this stuff. He wasn't able to get out. He had a 9-figure business, and then his partner, basically he didn't know what you know. And I saw him lose that entire business, and he basically spent the next 5 years complaining about his partner, and he never recovered, dude.
And I honestly, had I not done what I did, I might have been in the same situation.
Crazy.
I mean, bro, sometimes you buy something and you put your eggs in that basket, and what happens is that thing declines, and you're still attached to the previous value that you purchased it at, and you're always working to get it back to that previous value. But the amount of effort and time it takes to get that sinking ship back up to the value that it previously was, you realize at some point when it's too late, maybe 2 years later, 3 years later, damn, I just spent the last 2-3 years and I just got the ship barely back to where it was. All those years were losses because of that. If I had just abandoned the ship, spent the last 3 years doing something else, I would be in a much better position.
Yeah.
But you don't realize till it's too late.
Even for me now, I'm like, wow, there's still opportunity. And let's talk about the big opportunity, because it's like everyone's building personal brands. Is it too late for the average person, for people to build a personal brand?
There are people who started their personal brand 2 months ago and they're bigger than I am.
Wow. So it's never too late.
It's never too late. And actually, my theory is that because of AI, personal brands will become more valuable than ever, because it will be the only confirmed human-to-human interaction we will have online.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The only way, like if someone messages me on Instagram, they know it's Eddie. Unless obviously I start doing AI bots and all this stuff. But assuming it's an actual authentic personal brand, that is going to be sought out much more than any other AI or all this stuff, because all the content's moving to AI, all the chats are moving to AI. Everything is talking to a robot. And the people who are verified at Eddie on Instagram, at Shakir Hussein on Instagram, that is you. That is your identity. It will almost be like an ID. It's like a digital ID, right?
Yeah.
And no one can take that. There can't be a second one. So there is no AI that can replace that. And I think long term, that becomes one of the most valuable assets we ever have, because the world is going to move fully digital. It's going to be fully crypto. It's going to be fully AI. And you're not going to know what's real or not. But what's always going to be real is at Shakir Hussein and at Eddie will always be us.
You say that, but then you're also stopping your events in person. How?
Temporarily.
Temporarily.
But you saw my pitch.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was.
I appreciate it.
It was.
So I'm not stopping my events in person. I'm stopping my public events that cost me $1 million to do every day.
Yeah. What was the decision behind spending $1 million? By the way, it was the best event, the best food. I mean, you did it in Burj Khalifa. This is what Burj Khalifa looks like. And then you did it at the most prestigious Amani hotel. I mean, how did you, where did that thought come from? Like, we're going to spend $1 million.
Okay, first of all, the thought was not we're going to spend $1 million. The thought was let's spend as little as we can and do this as big as we can. But
Okay.
in the event space, you budget.
Yeah.
You forecast. You met my CFO, very smart guy. So we go through, okay, based on past events, based on how many attendees, based on what the restaurants are quoting us, we expected to spend $480. And then around Christmas time, end of December, New Year's, we looked at our new projections and it was around $680. And I'm like, I have to sell another $200,000 more of tickets to break even than I thought. So then I started putting more urgency on selling ticket sales. And then we met again like mid-January. And we're like, okay, it's actually over 800 because of AV, because of this, that like we were misquoted on. And now we're in a situation where we have to pay it. And that's why I was like, I really don't want to do this anymore because like the amount of stress and time and effort I'm putting into breaking even on this event. Sure. I mean, you've seen the impact of that event. I mean,
100%.
I think everyone left that room and was like transformed into a different person.
Yeah,
Like,
I was transformed. 100%. You don't understand, Eddie. Oh, you know, I do these challenges every month, yeah? So say I do 6 figures a month. When I do a challenge and it pops off, I do 300 to 500K. When I don't do when I do a challenge and it doesn't pop off, I'm down 30 to 50 grand.
minus,
Yeah, because the challenges don't perform, you know.
You spend money on
There
it,
was a
you know.
gentleman that you brought in that I've known for years, Neo. I had no idea the scale he was running these challenges. And dude, like, this was even before your main event, bro. So thanks,
It's
dude.
like a sub event.
Bro, that sub event, you have no idea. I literally said to my team, I'm like, hey, all those missing pieces of like why this doesn't work, that doesn't work, it's working. It's gonna work. Like the next challenges I'm gonna do is just gonna be way more profitable because I found the missing links. Like I'll give you one example. He said like the target market that he goes through. Yeah, we're not gonna kind of delve all this personal stuff, but one of the target markets he goes through because he gets someone local that looks similar. Dude, last week I had someone, white, blonde, American. She's in her 40s or 50s, fly to Dubai, pay me a bunch of money, paid me more money, and then she came here and she shot around 130, 150 videos because I'm going to do that challenge with her face. And I'm like, wow, I had no idea this was the scale that he was going at. And then because of that event, this is how powerful the networking was, dude. The next day he invites me to this yacht. Okay, you know me, I don't go to yachts. I don't. Too much music, too much stuff. It's not for me. Anyway, I go to the yacht. There's Dan Henry. There's a few other people. Who's there? His entire team is there. And he's like, hey, man, this is my sales guy. Ask him any questions. This is my operations guy. If you need anything, ask him. And I'm like, wow. So I start asking him.
Were you on the boat?
I was on the boat.
I didn't see you once the entire day on the boat.
Yeah. So I was at the top floor. I saw you and your family. There was like alcohol and lots of loud music.
So you're like, I'm getting away from this floor.
I'm getting away from this floor.
Yeah, I didn't drink on
I
the
just
boat.
happened to meet one of my old tech guys who now works for him, yeah? I'm like, what are you doing here? He goes, oh, I work for him. I said, no way, dude, because he used to work for me 10 years ago. He helped me build Wealth Academy, my main offer, to $1 million a month. This was 10 years ago.
Wow.
$1 million a month when I was 27, 28 years old, bro. Yeah. And
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
Sohail, what are you doing here? He goes, oh, I work for GC, Grant Cardone, and I also work for Neo. And I'm like, no way, bro. I'm like, what have you been doing for the last, I haven't seen him for like, say 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a millionaire now. I'm like, what? Bro, I used to probably pay him like under $5,000 a month.
That's crazy. That's really cool to see.
And then we're on the boat and he goes, I have a property there. I have a property there. And I'm like, no way. So he runs an agency that does tech work. And anyway, he's done like $4 million in sales, but he's pocketed like $3 million for himself. And he's just such a good guy. And to see him. So anyway, second floor was no one there. And then there was downstairs, third floor. And so I just hanged out. And then I spent time with hanging out with Neo's wife and kids.
Cool.
So that was cool. Yeah, it was like
That was a fun day.
That was a fun day. I learned a lot. Anyway, the reason why I was telling you is because one introduction led to another, led to another, led to another. And I'm like, whoa, my entire business is going to be transformed because I also realized I don't have to be the face of these offers. And, you know, spending time with Neo on a one-on-one basis, he explained how the publishing model works, what to stay away from, You know, and I was like,
Probably
wow.
saved you millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars, bro. Like, I just insane. Like, he was telling me, like, when you do this, go for a 2 to 5 year partnership. I was doing 1 to 2 month partnership.
That's crazy.
Because I didn't know what I didn't know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, so anyway, I'm so excited, dude. I'm so grateful. That's why I'm your biggest fan now, Eddie. I'm your biggest fan. And
I
so,
appreciate it, bro.
mashallah. And
I'm a much bigger fan of you than you think I am.
I appreciate it. And so, yeah, agency. How did you go from 6 figures, where most people have an agency, but they're spinning the wheels? How do you go from 6 to 7 and then 7 to 8 figures? Let's talk on that.
So six figures, man. I don't even remember what that's like. What's that? 10,000 a month to 70,000 a month ish.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that is at that point. It's like we were running ads for local businesses. We had, some automations, like we'd get them leads. They go to GHL. At the time, GHL didn't exist, but like a CRM. Sometimes it was just a Google sheet, to be honest. And we'd send them there, and then the business would call and bring them in and make money, and we'd try to track it, right? So it's a very simple, duplicatable product. And we picked one niche. So at first we started, we sold to 5, 6, 7 different companies. Then we're like, okay, this one works the best.
And what was that niche?
At the time, it was birthday party centers. So you have to understand something in the internet marketing game that is horrible is there is a massive lack of creativity, meaning everyone copies everyone else because they can't think for themselves. So at the time, everyone was preaching chiropractors, dentists, all these different, avenues to go get clients. And I was like, what's something that's not sexy that no one's looking at, that's high ticket, but not sexy enough for anyone to see it because they don't participate in it. And I realized kids' birthday parties, the average kid's birthday party in America costs $500. Like, that's high ticket. You know what I mean? So a high ticket local business, I can run ads targeting moms with specific kids' ages. And I can probably make them a lot of money. So I did it for my family's business. They had a birthday party place. I did great. Then I started taking it to other birthday party places. Then I built a funnel. I was like, okay, if I'm running ads for them, why can't I run ads for myself? So I had VAs in Lebanon, scraped, 30,000 birthday party centers in America. I uploaded to Facebook. I ran ads to them. I sent them to a funnel with a VSL explaining this. We called the company. So we had 4 media marketing, which was bad marketing before.
Yeah.
And then I basically just made another domain, but under the same company legally. And it was just getmoreparties.com. Very simple. I still own it. Great domain. And so I got Get More Parties. I ran a funnel. I made a VSL. I ran ads. I had people start booking calls and showing up with us. And the cool part is birthday party places, if you think about it, they only work on weekends. Because no kids are doing their birthday party Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the first half of Friday. So they're always available to get on a call.
Okay.
They're always looking at their inbox for a cold email. So we ran cold emails to them with a really clever subject line. Are you fully booked? ? And then the actual line was like, hey, I'm wondering if you're fully booked for next weekend, or if you have any availability, please message me back. Let me know. And then they message back and be like, yes, we have availability. And I'm like, why do you have availability? You should be fully booked. Wow. I can help you be fully booked. Let's get on a call. You know what I mean? Yeah. So a very clever cold email sequence. So we cold emailed these people and we ran ads at the same time, flooded the market. We had like 200 book calls every week, show rate 95% because they have nothing else to do. They want to show up to the call. And we just started closing deals. And then that took us from, 10K a month to like 80K a month. COVID hit. We lost all that business, went to zero. So that was a hard part. And then I realized, okay, now we kind of got to reset. So let me pick an industry or industries that are invincible to some sort of health event. So we went all in into info and all in into e-com because these are digital. They'll always ship. They don't require human interaction at a grand scale. And so no disease can ever shut this down. And so again, I think the most important thing here is like you learn from what happens. I think a lot of people sometimes just move on to the next thing, but they don't learn. So like we lost all our clients. Sure, we panicked for a second. Oh my gosh, we have no money. We have payroll. I have employees. Am I going to let them go? What do we have to do? But what I did and what I still do to this day is sit back. Okay, why did that happen? How do I avoid this happening again? Where was my weakness in this scenario, and how do I close off that weakness? So even like my house got robbed. as you saw, they
Yeah.
gifted me a watch and everything.
No, let's say this properly. Yeah, sadly, your house got robbed, and then at this event, whole bunch of guys got together and gifted you a presidential Rolex watch,
Insane watch.
bro. That was just like,
I had goosebumps for like 5 minutes.
yeah. And I'm sure you were teary on stage.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I was just like, wow. But this also shows what a raving community that you've built. It's amazing, dude.
Dude, I was like, where is this going? I don't know what's happening, but why are there like 40 people standing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I found out. And honestly, very truly incredible experience. Shout out to Steve Harward for coordinating that. So even when that happened, everyone's up in panic. Oh my gosh, we got robbed. They took all our money, blah, blah, blah. I opened my notepad and I was like, what did I learn? I learned I need this on my glass. I learned I need this in my alarm system. I need this in my safe. You know what I mean? How do I avoid this happening again? And I think that's one of the most valuable things you can do as humans. And I think as people, we forget to do that. We just move on to the next thing. We're just like, oh, this happened. Oh, I got in a car accident. Oh my gosh. Oh, you deal with it. And then it's like, you're on to the next thing. Well, why did I get in a car accident? What should I have done differently to avoid this happening again? And then taking that feedback, and that's what makes you level up as a person is actual like self-evaluation, right? I think too little people self-evaluate. So anyways, we self-evaluated. How do we de-risk ourselves? Info, e-com, infinitely scalable. They're not just little walls and they can't be killed by a disease. So we moved to that. We built an office because COVID office was super cheap.
Yeah.
So I got rent for 20% of market price.
Wow.
Because it was like, I got my office in August. COVID was in February, was the shutdown. So 6 months went by and not a single office was leased. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're like, please, someone take it. We don't know how long this is going to last. So I robbed them. I basically got an office. I signed the longest lease they'd possibly give me on 20% rent. And then I said, screw it. I'm going to build office culture while everyone's going remote. I'm going to build the office. And that created such a strong unity inside of our company. And that really took us to the next level.
Wow. I had no idea. That's, obviously, I'm not in this agency space, right?
Yeah.
Like, I came to this event and I was like, wow, there's a lot of agency owners. Like, I didn't even know this was. And then on one of the days, we were having a private conversation. I don't know if you want to talk about some of these numbers. You don't have to say the exact campaigns, but what's been like the biggest info launches that you have done, or like you've taken?
Launch. I mean, we've done launches that had tens of millions of dollars involved, but we weren't the only people. Like the Face was on it. Other agencies were involved too. So it was a collaborative effort. But I'd say on an ongoing basis, the biggest info offers we run do 6 to 7 million a month. Wow. Like ongoing, like just on a regular every month type situation. I've ran offers in the past that do like 12, 14, 15 million a month in the info space. But I don't run them anymore. And that wasn't every month. You know what I mean?
Just hold that thought, because this is crazy numbers. Yeah. 12 to $15 million a month in info.
In password logins.
In password logins. Define that. Okay. Especially most people are still in that stage where they're starting out, even if what does that even mean? 12, $15 million a month. Well, how many customers is that? And what are you selling?
So we're selling online education. So think of it as specialized education specific to a field that someone is seeking after. So when we go to university, we say, hey, I'd like to be a lawyer. And then they say, okay, great. It's going to take you 7 years and $325,000. So instead of that, someone goes, hey, I know you can't certify me as a lawyer, but I want to learn digital marketing. I want to learn sales. I want to learn accounting. I want to learn these skill sets that don't require a degree or a certain certification to be there. And even if they do require a certification, if you can apply for it without having a degree, then that's an example. And then people who are experts in that field will teach that, like you. And we tell people why they should get into this field or career or learn this specific path and how that can make them money, make them healthier, give them more freedom, depending on what we're selling. Some people sell training, fitness, personal training, whatever, but it's digital. And then we spend money on marketing, which is usually our biggest expense because we don't have offices, we don't have all these things. And then we have people come and pay for that education. And in return, if they show up and they listen and they watch the things and they implement them, then they can make a career out of it, make a lot of money. That's how I got started, bro. I mean, I learned for myself, and then I took courses for people like Dan Henry, Billie Jean, and that took me to the next level. I was like, oh, I didn't think about it this way. Then I took a course from Joel Kaplan, who's like, it's funny because all these people I took courses from that were like my idols, like they're all the homies now. They're
Yeah.
all homies. Like I text them every day. You know what I mean? We work together on product. We make money together. Like it's pretty cool. So and then I took Joel's course, and then he taught me that I need to automate my onboarding process when I bring a client. Because I'd sign a client, then I'd be like, okay, like here's what we're doing next, and then like do every single step by hand. And he's like, bro, you could just put it in an automation. And then I made a 31-step onboarding automation. When a client comes, it makes a profile in our account, then it makes a Google Drive, then it makes a Google Doc, then it sends them the Google Doc to fill out, then blah, 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 blah. So you learn from other people. So you pay for information, but what you're really paying for is time. Because like you said earlier, how much time and money have you saved because of information that you've received from other people in those rooms? And so people pay for that to accelerate their success. But the sad truth, just like most things in the world, is 90% of people will not follow through, and they'll find something else, or they'll be swayed because of slight difficulty, and that will take them off the path that they once thought was where they were going.
Yeah. When I was getting started in entrepreneurship, I had a mentor, a guy called Ibn Pagan. I don't know if you know Ibn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at that time,
I don't know him personally, but yeah.
So I knew him personally, and I would consult him on how he can sell more high-ticket offers. So I'm going back years. But he taught me this concept when I was a kid called speed of implementation. And what they had done is they had found all these people that had made like 250K plus per year, salespeople. And they had done this huge research. And they've basically found the people that make 250 grand per year, it's like, what's the golden thread amongst all of these salespeople? And it was like this huge study. I forget the university's name, whatever it was. And it basically said the people that make 250 grand plus per year in any industry, sales, marketing, tech, whatever, speed of implementation was the golden key. So it's like these people, how fast they had an idea to implement, that's the... Look, I wanted to come to your event for 2 days, in and out.
Yeah.
Then you said, come 3 days earlier because there's another event. So I come 1 week, like 3 days earlier.
Now you're here 3 months later.
Now I'm here. And then last night, my wife said, let's extend it for another 2 weeks. And then there's Affiliate World Conference happening. There's this event by Iman.
I'm going to both of them. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm part of his consulting master.
Oh, you are? Okay.
But I'm not going to show up in the desert just because
Why?
It's Ramadan. I have to focus on Ramadan.
But you can focus. You just fast.
They don't have mosques. I already asked them.
But can't you pray without a mosque?
No, I want to be in a mosque.
Every day?
Every day.
But I mean, you can still pray without a mosque.
I can pray without the mosque.
God is everywhere.
Yeah, God is everywhere. But during Ramadan, I need to be...
I don't know. I would challenge that thinking. I would debate you on this one, but up to you. But I think that's going to be a good event. I'm speaking there too.
Yeah. So there's also another one, Affiliate World Summit. Anyway, the point what I was making was I came for 2 days and it's dragged out for like 4 weeks. And I'm spending like 50, 60 grand. And I'm like, but I also realized I'm executing the stuff that I've learned. And I said to myself, hey, I need to take like personal brand. I never took it seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, okay, who's the best personal brand people that I know? We happen to be in the sauna because I'm staying in the same building as Dan. And Dan looks at my Instagram and he goes, what is this content? I said, well, basically no one knows this, but like 5 years ago, I recorded all these videos and my team just sliced them up and just post them. And he's like,
I know Dan, and I know he said it differently than that.
He did. He was, yeah. He said it very differently. And then he said, you need to get intentional. And then he gave me a huge lecture on basically to take it seriously. And I was like, okay, I need to create new content. I need to record new content versus trying to basically shortcut, repurpose all of this stuff.
Lazy. We all do it.
It was just a lazy way. And that's why some of the videos have like a full beard. Some of them have no beard.
That's so
and people
funny.
are like, bro, did you cut off your beard? I'm like, no, I haven't touched my beard for and so, but anyway, I'm getting intentional, right? So that's basically speed of implementation. Like how fast do you learn something? And then how fast are you taking action? In your opinion, because you've worked with so many agency founders, I'm just going to call them entrepreneurs, agency founders, startups, whatever, info guys. What holds them back from that speed of implementation?
Lack of clarity. So most people don't take the next step because they can't see the next step. We have flashlights, and the flashlight only shows what's directly in front of us. But if I can't see 5 steps ahead of me, I'm scared to take the next step, even though all I need to see is the next step. And I think the biggest mistake that people make is if they can't see past the first step. They caution themselves from taking a step forward, not knowing what the next step is. But the reality is, because we have it's like a flashlight attached to our body. And the more novice you are, the shorter the flashlight range. The more advanced you are, the bigger your vision, the more clarity you have, the further your flashlight can see. So maybe my flashlight can show me 20 steps, but someone else who's more novice can only see one. But what they don't realize is you don't need to see what the 10th step is. As long as you see the first one, because the flashlight is attached to your body, the second you take the first step, the next step is lit. Then the next step is lit. Then the next step is lit. But people, if they can't see the entire walkway, they give themselves an excuse as to why they can't start, because they don't know what the next step is after this one. But you have to take that first step to get to the next one.
Yeah.
And as you mature, your flashlight becomes brighter. And as your flashlight becomes brighter, you see much further. And now you can direct the steps differently, because you see 20 steps ahead what it looks like, and you're like, no, we're going to take this path. But at first, you have to take one step at a time, and that's the only way you're going to figure it out.
And let's talk about the next step. So, 6 figures to 7 figures, basically you just grinded it out. 7 figures, you started building a team. What was the shift from 7 to 8 figures? Was it better clients? Was it you worked more hours? Was it you worked less?
It was better team and more leverage. Okay, so one principle would be more leverage. Leverage of better talent, meaning my time is more protected because I have better talent, therefore creating more leverage. They create X% ROI on themselves. Second one is leverage of better client contracts. Okay. Same amount of work, better clientele, 5X more money. How much does that affect profitability? And I think the third one is leverage of money. Once you have currency, like if me and you are going to do the same deal with one person, and I have 100K and you have $0, and we both have the same skill set, I will beat you on that deal. Therefore, because I have access to money, I get more favorable terms naturally, because you're going to go and you're going to say, hey man, I can exchange services and blah, 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 and give me 10%. And I'll go, hey man, I can exchange services and I'll give you 50 grand on top of it, give me 25. And I'm just going to take 25 on the same deal you couldn't take 10 on, because I had leverage of money. So there's leverage of time, or people, which is time. There's leverage of like how you actually make money. So in this case, charging more money, leverage of contracts. And then the last one is, what was the last one I gave? Leverage of money.
Leverage of, at what stage do you go on leverage of money? Like you step out of agency and you start investing in these companies?
So I think leverage of money is always, when I had $20,000, I put 10 of it into stocks. That's leveraging my money, right? But there's levels to it. So when do you start putting it in things that require active attention is the question. And that is when your active income vehicle is self-sustainable on its own without you. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're starting another job, and now you're splitting your attention between two things. You're making less active income, which gives you less to invest, and then you're failing on the investment side because you're also distracted. So for me, I always invested in passive things, in stocks, in crypto, in funds, whatever the case was. I never invested in companies. Now I invest in companies a lot because I have the time, but I also have the team, and I also have the clarity of what I believe is going to make money, what's going to work and what's not going to work. And so when I have those things, I'm able to make better decisions. And then back to personal brand, because I have personal brand, I get more opportunities.
That was the lesson probably that spoke to me the furthest out of everything. Like I saw Alex do some stuff with school. Then I saw you, and I heard about some of these companies, by the way, that you've invested in.
Yeah.
Years and years ago.
Oh, really?
Like I remember.
Like separately from me.
Yeah, I remember you talking about them like on a private WhatsApp group that I'm part of. And I was like, and then, now you said like your shares are worth like $10 million plus or something just from one company, and you've got like 5 or 10 of these companies. And in that moment, I was thinking to myself, okay, say I've invested $10 million, which I have of my own money in the last 10 years. And you've invested $10 million. But you could get that same investment for $2 million that I've spent.
That's the key.
$10 million. It's like buying a laptop, this is $5,000, but I'm paying $5,000, and you can pay $1,000 to get this.
Only because they want to sell the laptop to Eddie.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Well, you don't understand what was going through my brain when I was going through that. That's why I said like this presentation was like, because I was like, whoa. So basically that's what I've missed out on because I didn't do personal branding and all the other stuff that comes with it.
I want to show you this relevant to this conversation.
Yeah.
Someone made an introduction for me to someone who's doing 9 figures a month.
Wow.
Okay. And all right, it's his bottom message. There's the context. The guy comes to me and goes, hey, do you have anyone who's really good at marketing? I need a marketing guy. He goes, yeah, I got a guy. Let me put you in a group chat. Puts in his group chat, hey, whatever, John, meet Eddie. Eddie, meet John. I've talked to you guys separately. Like, take it from here. This is what my friend who introduced us wrote to me after he made the group chat. Read that out loud, the last message.
Geez, bro, personal brand. Homie started geeking.
So this guy texted him on the side and goes, oh my gosh, no way you connected me with Eddie Maalouf. And he's going crazy. And he's running a 9-figure a month company.
That's crazy. Even there was a guy, the kid that was following you and his dad's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And then you said you're talking to the billionaire for a potential deal or something.
Exactly.
Because of a personal brand.
Because of videos.
Yeah.
Bro, let's break it down. Yeah. Because of videos on the internet that I click post. Because I went, yo, post.
Make more videos.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's personal brand is going to become more valuable over time because AI is only going to force it to become more valuable. It's the only tangible thing.
You had also some amazing guest speakers. And by the way, anyone watching this, you don't have to do this one way, right? Because you had another guy, Jim Barrow. He's a total top G, like invisible, never heard of this guy. Spends millions. I think I just saw he spends like $20 million a month or something on ads.
On Google.
Yeah. Like, does he have a podcast? Does he write books? Nothing. He's just like an invisible ghost that you brought on. He's one of your friends, I guess, right? Yeah. And then you had on the other extreme side, Iman, with like 4 or 5 million subs. He's also a personal friend of yours. So you had like 2 different guys. So there's not like one way. But for someone that's watching this and they're trying to find their way, what's your advice to that?
Look, sometimes it's okay to work for someone else to find the right way. I'll give you a rough example. Everyone thinks they want to be a lawyer. Then you start working at a law firm. Then you're like, I hate this job. This isn't what I imagined a lawyer being like. And there's the contrary to that too, where you might think a career is boring or not a good fit. And then you work in that career and you're like, wow, I love this field. This is way cooler than it made out to be. And so if someone's lost or just doesn't understand where to go, going and paving your own path sometimes will only set you back and take more time than if someone else already has a path that you can stand on and get clarity on how to build that path for yourself in the future. I think that's always a better answer. And, you know, I've been preaching for a few years, like, hey, listen, I recommend you go get a job in the field that you want to, you know, do and you have interest in. Go get a job there, even if it's beginner level, and work your way up for a couple of years. Then after you have that experience, go start your own business because you'll have the clarity to do so. And now, after a few years of preaching that, finally people have gone through that cycle. I get messages almost every week of someone being like, hey man, I followed what you said. I went and got this job. I learned XYZ. Now I run my own business. I make $50K a month. Thank you so much. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm glad I actually got the job first and blah, 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 right? So sometimes it's okay that you don't have all the answers because reality is most people, if not everyone, doesn't have all the answers, right? Yeah. But sometimes someone else doing something and you being a part of it gives you that clarity to know what you want to do, what you don't want to do. And sometimes you end up working for someone and being like, you know what? I actually like it here and I don't even want to start my own thing. And that's totally cool.
What about for people that are introverts or like people that sometimes come through my world are like experts, but they're like best kept secrets. You know, they're like, they know what to do. They've got the degrees. They're like super smart. They have like this much intelligence, this many degrees, you know, and I have no degrees. So they have like all of this stuff, but then they struggle to even make a YouTube video. They're scared of people judging them. Like, what sort of advice do you have for that?
Yeah, I mean, if it's okay, so everyone at the highest level still deals with the same problems that that person deals with when it comes to content. Just yesterday, I have a friend who's making $6 million a year, and he started posting more content. And he said, bro, he's like, what am I doing wrong? I have all my old friends, family members, all this stuff calling me, telling me to stop posting videos. It's silly. It's goofy. I don't, it doesn't belong to me. All these things have discouraged me. He's like,
It's crazy.
he's like, should I just stop, bro? I don't know. I'm like, bro, you run a $6 million business.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you are doing this because you're trying to turn it into a $12 million business. And what you're posting is good content. I was like, don't let anyone discourage you. I was like, when I started, everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people made fun of me. A lot of people talked behind my back. And I know who they are. And a lot of people said, oh, this isn't for me. Look how stupid he is on social media doing videos, blah, blah. I was like, and now they're kids and they're friends. And the people they look up to follow me. And they consume my content. And they want to be me. I was like, had I listened to them, none of that would be possible. And even my friends at the highest level, I'm talking millions of followers, still get talked down to from family members, from colleagues, from people who are close to them for making content online. It never goes away.
Yeah, it never
people
goes.
are, and you know what? It's a self-reflection of those people. One, it's a lack of understanding. So like anytime someone's like talking to me like that, I always come from the place of like, this guy just truly doesn't understand.
Yeah.
If he did, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So how can I make him understand? And then number two, it's a self-reflection of a lack of confidence in themselves to achieve the same thing. So they look at you and they say, Shaq, why are you posting all these videos where you shouldn't be doing that? And it's because internally they're like, I don't have the balls to post those videos. And even if you told them, hey, you'll make $10 million more a year if you post these videos, they won't do it.
Yeah.
And so their self-reflection is, Shaq, you shouldn't do it either, bro.
Yeah.
Let's both be stagnant together, man.
Yeah. I'm very lucky. I've kind of let those demons go a long time ago.
I agree, but those demons still exist.
Yeah.
You just don't hear them anymore.
Yeah, I don't hear them anymore.
But they're always there.
Yeah. Dude, when I started 16 years ago, I remember going to America, and there was this big, I used to do affiliate marketing. That's how I made my first $1 million. And there was a super affiliate, I don't know if you know these guys, but anyway, I'm in San Diego in this huge penthouse party thing, right? They invited me because I was young. I was from London. I show up in a big suit, and a guy goes, "Oh, guys, this is Shakir Hussain. Everyone, say hello to Shakir. Shakir Hussain, like Saddam Hussein." And bro, my face just dropped, and I was thinking, "Wow, like, is this what I'm gonna face in America?" You know, and this was like one of the first ever events. But I said to myself, like, it doesn't matter what happens. Like, I'm just gonna. I had such huge goals.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't care what anyone said. I just like, I guess I was in such a bad state of being broke and stuff that I wanted to just get ahead. One last thing. Give me 1 second, bro. I just need to talk. Bro, are you good for a little bit longer? 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, let me just tell them.
Bro, can I take that extra 15 minutes slot? I'll pay for it. Charge. Thank you. So we'll stop exactly at, what is it? 4:30. Okay, done. 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Since we're here, let me just take a video real quick for a promo.
Yeah,
Put it on my story. All right.
So, all right.
Demons talking about your personal brand.
Yes.
trying to stop
So
you from
then
doing it.
go. Okay, Mikey, when you're editing this, just clip it from here. Yeah. So moving from like equity to personal brand to from agency, what's the next 3 to 5 years looking like, and where does AI fit into your business?
Okay, so next 5 years, we as Bad Marketing and I as Eddie Maalouf are investing in businesses that cannot be replicated with AI. Okay, so which businesses would that be, Shaq?
Scoville hot chicken.
That's one of them for sure.
Let's.
Food,
Yeah, food.
real estate, gyms, things that are actually cannot be replaced. Events, you'll see, you saw my pitch. I canceled the public events, but we're doing more events just only for people that are in our paid communities and our groups, right, to get them all together. So I think There was the head of security, I believe, or chief security or something, for Anthropology. I think that's what it is, the AI company. It's like the fastest growing AI company. Did you see that he stepped down?
No.
He stepped down and he said, I've seen everything. And this is the head of security of the fastest growing AI company. He stepped down from all careers.
I saw that post.
He said, I'm going to go write poetry in the countryside because that's how screwed we are. And so he's like, there's no point in even working anymore. Yeah. So to me, let's say that's true. There will still be business owners who still make money, like a grocery store, like food, like restaurants, like real estate, like gyms, like in-person communities, things that you cannot take away with AI. And that's where we are investing in. Even software companies we have previously built. In reality, in 2-3 years, like someone might just build those with AI in seconds, even if it's patented, even if it's whatever, they're going to copy it and they're going to run with it. And it's going to be very hard to compete. So I think AI is much scarier than we think it is. But all we can do right now, and I say for the next 24 months, is just utilize as much of it as possible to make as much money as possible in the next 24 months, because we don't know what opportunity looks like after that. And this internet game and the ability to make money online might be 85% gone.
Yeah.
Because of AI.
That's kind of how I look at it as well. There's a gentleman I follow, Raoul Paul. Do you know him?
Ron Paul?
Raoul Paul from Real Vision.
Okay.
He's like this global macro investor guy who's like in Bitcoin from the early days, whatever. And so he basically says, and he advises some of the richest hedge funds in the world, and I'm in his private community and stuff. And he says, look, all I know is you have until 2030 to get as rich as possible. After what happens after that, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And this is like a super rich, super intelligent, super wealthy, very connected guy, like in the financial space. And he's like, I just don't know what's going to happen after 2030. Around those, so it's like, you got 2 to 4 years.
Yeah.
And the way I looked at it, I was like, he's kind of in his 50s or 60s, so it's like a baby boomer. And I was like, maybe if he's wrong and technology is going super fast, so maybe we don't have 4 years, maybe we have only 2 to 3 years.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, and so I'm like, wow, so we need to get moving. I need to get moving. And something that I talk about with my personal friends, but I got this concept from Vern Harnish from the book Scaling Up. It talks about cash, strategy, team, execution. Just briefly, let's talk about this. How do you handle your cash positions now? Say $1 million comes in. How are you allocating that money?
So I have a minimum and maximum in the bank account for personal and for business. So our business, for example, has a minimum amount we can keep per month, which in our case, our minimum is $800,000. Our maximum that we keep in the business account is $3 million. Can never go above that. If it ever goes above 3, every dollar we make over 3 gets allocated to some sort of investment. Whether it's investing in the business infrastructure or whether it's distributions to the partners to invest in crypto or stocks or real estate or whatever it is. Same goes for my personal. Like my minimum on my personal is 200 grand. My maximum on my personal is 2.5 million. I'll never ever have that much. I mean, for now, have more than that in a bank account. It'll go to crypto. It'll go to stocks. Unfortunately, it went to crypto and now I'm down a few $1 million, but it is what it is. It's more the perspective of anything above this number you allocate. Anything below this number you keep in the bank, and that's your safety net, and you can play whatever you want with it. So that's what I do on like a macro level. I believe very heavily in crypto. I believe that AI will only make crypto more will be more reliant on crypto, because AI is not going to transact with banks. It's too slow. Yeah. So it's going to transact with crypto. Whatever currency that is, the entire market will raise. Just because the more AI there is, especially with all these people building all these automated robots, when they want to send each other money, when they want to do things, transact, whatever it is, it's all going to be on Ledger. So like that's where it's going. And so I'm super bullish. Every time there's a dip right now. I spent a significant amount of money, almost as much as it took to throw this event, to buy that, because I believe in it. And if it goes lower, that's cool. I know I still bought at a position that is significantly less than where it's going. Yeah. And so my conviction is just so high, and it could all fall apart. I could lose all my money that I've invested because of it, and that's okay. I still have the companies, I still have my skill set, and I can make more cash. Yeah. So that provides you financial security to be more aggressive with your money.
Yeah, I love it. And then team, like your insights, top insights on your current team, how you're hiring, how you're firing. What are you looking for when you're bringing on A players?
Yeah. So one, I'm looking for work ethic and loyalty first. I always give people the opportunity to shit talk their previous company. I do it in a clever, smart way. Like, oh man, I bet your last company was probably hard to work at. That's probably why you left. Could you tell me a little bit about what you disliked the most about your last company? And then I will allow that to see if they go mature answer. Oh no, it was actually a really good company. I liked my boss. Everyone was good. I just XYZ, and that's why it didn't work out. And so that's why I'm looking for something else. Versus, oh my gosh, that was the most toxic environment I have ever worked at. Man, this boss and this guy and blah, blah, blah. And immediately I'm like, this isn't someone I'm going to let into my business. Because what do you think he's going to do at the first hint of adversity? Oh man, oh, this job sucks, man. I can't believe you guys actually do this stuff. Do you, like, you know what I mean? And so I think that's the most valuable thing. All the other things are tangible. Their talent, can they finish an assessment and do a good job at it? But that intangible little aspect of like toxicity and loyalty and maturity is what I really seek. And if you look at all my top leaders, they all have those categories. They don't get pulled into someone talking negatively. And anytime I've had a leader in a position of leadership where they are prone to and more susceptible to being pulled into those kind of conversations, the more that department suffers, because everyone becomes more comfortable with talking down and making excuses. Like, oh yeah, this client sucks. That's why. Oh yeah, this
And
Eddie's crazy.
How would you fire or let go of that person? Fire them, let go.
Yeah, I mean, I always do write-ups first. So I'll do an actual document. I'll say, hey, listen, here's the thing that you did wrong. These are our core values. You're breaking these 3 core values. You're going against them. Please sign here, and we're going to agree that this is a 30-day probation. If I don't see improvement by 15 days, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you know that you have 2 weeks left, and it'll be 30-day totals from today or 60 days, whatever, same situation. But I'm getting an actual documented write-up. It's very funny how humans work, from school all the way up to the job. If you tell someone something 20 times, in the moment they remember it, but then they forget it, and then they act against the thing that you reprimanded them for. As soon as you have them write it down and they sign their name, something about it just feels real. And even in school, we'd mess around and the teacher would be like, stop doing that. I'm like, ha, ha, ha. And then we'd go do it again and he'd tell us to stop and just go back and forth. And then the teacher would pull out a piece of paper and go, Eddie, this infraction, sign here, make your parents sign it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, man, this is real. Like, I might get kicked out of school. I might be suspended. The consequences now seem real and tangible because of that piece of paper. And so I think it's a very important thing to do before you fire anyone, anything like that. That's one of the most important things.
That's cool, man. I'm going to start putting that into my business.
You have to, bro. It'll change the game, bro. You'll see. You tell someone 5 times, nothing happens. Maybe it happens temporarily.
Yeah, I have people that have been on the team for the last 5-6 years. And they're just like, Shaq is going to pay us regardless of if we do the work.
Yeah, we're chilling.
We're chilling. I've got way too many chillers in there.
Way too many chillers. It's too cold in that room, bro.
And I just came back like 3-4 months ago and I'm like, wow, like everyone's like super happy because, there's nothing to do, but everyone's getting paid and, I've just been paying. So that's it. And now I'm like, wow, this person has been with me for 5-6 years. How do I let them go? Or what do I have to do instead of letting them go? But that's super solid.
Yeah, I think people look at it the wrong way too. They say, man, this person's been with me 5-6 years. Like, how can I let him go? When I look at it as, dude, this person's been with me for 5-6 years. How could they take advantage of me?
Yeah.
After everything we've been through together and everything I've given.
Yeah.
To not work and still get paid and not bring it up like, hey, boss, I need more things to do. Like, I want to be more productive.
It's funny because that's what the thought pattern my wife says to me.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, she's like, they're taking advantage of you for way too long.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's only,
I'm the same, bro. We're too kind.
Yeah. But that kindness is not, especially if you only have 2 to 3 years before AI takes over.
There's no time for that.
There's no time for that.
No.
You have to put the speed and urgency. Who are the core team members that you're like, man, I couldn't run without them? You don't have to give me the names, but just
CFO.
CFO.
CEO.
I met him, by the way, Total stud.
Thank you.
Total stud.
Yeah, he's awesome. COO, then some sort of operations role. So whether it's an operations manager, director of operations, chief operation officer, whatever it is, someone who actually runs day to day. In my case, client communication. So some sort of CSM role where they talk to them. It's always great especially when you have personal brand and lead flow, to have a sales team so that they can organize all the random inbound that you're getting. You get one from here, you get one from here. Oh, you get a text message, you get an Instagram, you get people filling out a form wanting to talk to Eddie. So I need a sales team to be able to distribute that deal flow too. Otherwise, it's all on my shoulders and I'll drop the ball because I have other things to do besides just, collect money.
And are you directly talking to these clients that are coming in, or do you have it all handled by the team?
Technically, it's all handled by the team. There are a select handful of clients that I talk to. Do I manage them? No. Do I run the weekly calls? No. Am I in checking every day on what does that client is specifically doing? No. Am I very involved from a data standpoint, from a strategy standpoint, and making sure the team is on the right path and projecting the right numbers, etc., and texting that client on the side with our own ideas to make money? Yes, for sure. But am I running it? No. Do I have to run it? No. And it's cool, man, because I have clients that are multi 8-figure, 9-figure business owners, and they text me, your team is incredible, one of one. And dude, as a business owner, that's like the best thing ever that you hear.
No, I love it, bro. Yo, that was fire. I learned a lot.
Did you?
I'm always learning from you. That's something I learned again from Ibn, and he said it was this mental hack. And I strongly believe it's one of the reasons why some people have massive amounts of success and some people don't. And one of them is basically to always be in a beginner's mindset. So like even before you came in, I said to myself, okay, whatever he talks, I only know 20%. And basically if you do this, right, then so if you want to learn something really
conditioning yourself.
Yeah, you're conditioning yourself because you're telling yourself, I only know 20%. Even if I've heard everything you've said 100 times over, the simple fact that I'm telling myself, I only know 20%, I'm opening my brain to learn more.
Automatically.
It just automatically. And I learned that from him, like over a decade ago. Ibn Pagan.
Okay.
Because he would teach you how to learn things fast, right? So the faster that you can learn, the faster you can basically consume, the faster you can act on it and then implement.
For sure.
The faster you're going to make more money. And so, yeah, that was insightful. I'm glad to now learn business from you.
We're both learning from each other.
Yeah, dude. So it's been wonderful. Where can people find you?
YouTube, Eddie Maalouf. Instagram is just Eddie, EDDIE. Yeah. That's me, my handle, no AI.
Nice. And if there's a product or service people can check out, he's not going to say this, but he has a program called RemoteX.com.
Yeah.
And just plug that for a second.
I help companies all over the world hire extremely talented people from the Middle East into their businesses. So imagine like Filipinos back in the day, that kind of arbitrage. You have that level of arbitrage from the Middle East with significantly better English and significantly higher talent. Some of these people are PhD educated. Some of these people worked in American companies remote in those fields and no longer do. And because the dollars in a lot of these Middle Eastern countries has depreciated so hard compared to the US dollar, the arbitrage that you can create from a monetary standpoint is incredible. So you can pay someone the equivalent of a multi-6-figure salary in Lebanon and Jordan and Egypt and Syria, and they have American level talent, and you pay 10% of the cost, and they live like kings, and you live happily with more profit, and we help do that for companies.
Dude, that's amazing. I'm going to drop all the links below. Eddie, thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you having me.
I appreciate it.